The first rays of morning had not yet fully touched the ground when Rematula, a farmer, sat at the door of his small mud house on the edge of the village, Nurpur, lost in deep thought. His face clearly showed the marks of years of hard work, poverty, and worries. There was a pain in his eyes that only someone who had worked their whole life but was always abandoned by fate could understand. Rematula was an honest, hard-working, and simple-hearted farmer. He owned only 2 acres of land, a few goats, and a small chicken coop. Every morning he would wake up before sunrise, work in the fields, take care of his animals, and yet by evening his house would be on the verge of starvation. That day was no different. His wife Zainab said softly, "Remat, we only have flour for 1 day left. There is nothing left for the children either." Rematullah took a deep breath and silently looked toward the sky. Allah is the provider, Zainab. Maybe a way will open up. But somewhere in his heart, he knew that things were getting worse than before. That same evening, as the sun was about to set, Rematullah was returning from his field when he saw an old man on the way. The old man's condition was very bad. His clothes were torn and he looked weak from thirst and hunger. "Son, can I have a sip of water?" the old man said in a weak voice. Rematullah himself was poor, but his heart was very big. He immediately took out his water bottle and gave it to the old man. Then he took him to his home, fed him, and gave him a place to rest for the night. The next morning when Rematullah woke up, he was shocked. The old man was standing in the courtyard, but he no longer looked like an ordinary person. A strange light was coming from his face. "Rematullah," the old man said with a smile, "despite your poverty, you did me a favor. I want to reward the kindness of your heart." Saying this, he took out a small white chicken from inside his shawl. Rematullah was stunned. "This is not an ordinary chicken," the old man said, "it will lay you 1 golden egg every morning. But remember, greed destroys a person." Saying this, the old man suddenly vanished from sight. Rematullah and Zainab kept looking at each other in amazement. "Was this a dream?" Zainab asked in a trembling voice. Rematullah looked at the chicken, which was calmly pecking at grains on the ground. "Maybe not." The next morning, before the sun even rose, Rematullah woke up. He ran quickly toward the chicken coop. His heart was pounding loudly. And then, what he saw was impossible to believe. In front of the chicken lay a shining golden egg. With trembling hands, Rematullah picked up the egg. It was really made of gold. That day Rematullah went to the city and showed the egg to a goldsmith. The goldsmith examined the egg several times, then said in astonishment, "This is pure gold. I have never seen such an egg in my life." The goldsmith gave him so much money in exchange for the egg that Rematullah could buy rations for several months. For the first time in many years, there was happiness in Rematullah's house that day. But he didn't know that this gift of fate would not only change his life, but would also test his patience, wisdom, and faith. Days passed. Every morning the chicken laid a golden egg, and Rematullah's life began to change. He paid off his debts, bought good clothes for his children, got his house repaired, and even increased his land. But now the villagers' eyes were also on him. How did Remat become so rich all of a sudden? There must be some secret. Maybe he found a treasure. Within a few weeks, talks about Rematullah's wealth spread throughout the area. And then one night, while the whole village was sleeping, someone quietly climbed over the wall of Rematullah's house. That person's eyes were on only a wee thing. That mysterious chicken, which laid back a golden egg every morning. Rematullah did not know yet that the most dangerous test of his life was about to begin.